शांति शांति शांति। ओम गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सीदसादनम्। ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। समस्तजनकल्याणी निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् वासुदेवेन्द्र योगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधोऽभिधीयते तत्त्वबोधोऽभिधीयते। We will read from Evam Pinda Brahmanda Rekyam Samhitam. In my book, it is page 84. स्थूल शरीराभिमानी जीवनामकं ब्रह्म प्रतिबिंबं भवति स एव जीवः प्रकृत्या स्वस्मात् ईश्वरत्वं भिन्नत्वेन जानाति अविद्योपाधिः सन् आत्मा जीव इति उच्यते मायोपाधिः सन् ईश्वर इति उच्यते। एवं उपाधिभेदात् जीवेश्वर भेद दृष्टिः यावत् पर्यन्तं तिष्ठति तावत् पर्यन्तं जन्म मरणादि रूप संसारो न निवर्तते। तस्मात् कारणात् न जीवेश्वरयोर्भेद बुद्धि स्वीकार्या। Yeah, what is it saying? I'll tell you the word meaning. First line is Sur Sharirabhimani Jeevanamakam Brahma Pratbimbam Bhavati. What is the topic now? The topic is that Pinda Brahmandar Ekyam Sambhutam. The oneness is being told in the paragraph right before this. The oneness of the Pind and Brahmand, the microcosm and the macrocosm is being told here. So what is that oneness? That oneness is Bhed Abhed Sambandh. It is not that the microcosm is equal to macrocosm. It cannot equate like that. We cannot form an equation there that the microcosm is equal to macrocosm. No. What is it then? That is the relationship between them. What is the relationship between them? It is Bhed Abhed Sambandha. If the microcosm is separated from the macrocosm, it won't exist. For its existence, the microcosm needs to be attached to the macrocosm. This is the oneness. Oneness is not that the Jeev is equal to Ishwar. It cannot be. It can't be because the upadhis, the conditionings are different. That is why we cannot equate it like that. So we have to remember that when it is saying that it is Aikyam of Jeev and Pind and Brahmanda, that means Pind, if it is separated from the Brahmanda, If the Vyashti is separated from the Samashti, then its existence won't be possible. Like of my body part, my hand, till it is attached to my body, the body is the Brahmand, the hand is the Pind. So till that Pind is attached to the Brahmanda, it will get nourished by the Brahmanda. When it gets separated, then it loses its existence. So here also first sentence is saying that the Sthul Sharir Abhimani Jeev Namakam Brahma Pratibimbam Bhavati. That there is a holder of this Sthul Sharir, and that holder of the Sthul Sharir is called what? He is called the Jeev. And what is that Jeev? Jeev is the Brahma Pratibimbam. It is the Pratibimb, it is a reflection of that Brahma only. Now, then where is it? The reflected medium. What is the reflected medium? The reflected medium is the body only. And in that, when the Pratibimbam, when that reflection is there, in the subtle body, when the reflection is there, it is called the Jeev. Jeev Namakam Pratibimbam Bhavati. Sa eva jivaha. That is only the jiva. Prakritya swasmat ishwaratam bhinnatve janati. And what is that? What is the nature of that jiva? It knows itself as separate from that Ishwar. It does not know itself as one with the Ishwar, but it always considers itself as it is different from that Ishwar. Through what? Avidyopadhi is the next line. Avidya Upadhi. And because of that Avidya Upadhi, we will come to this all these things and just giving you the word to word meaning. So Avidya Upadhi son, Atma iti Jeev ityuchyate. Avidya is through the Upadhi of that Avidya, with the Upadhi of that ignorance, that Atma only is called Jeev. That Atma only is called Jeev. Iti Uchyate. It is called. It is not that it has got a real existence, but it is called like that. And the next line is Maya Upadhi san Ishvara ityuchyate. With the Upadhi of Maya, the same Atma only, the same Brahma only is called that Ishwar. It hasn't become Ishwar, it is called Ishwar. Evam, in this way, Upadhi Vedat, by through the difference of the Upadhis, Jeev Ishwar Bheda Drishti Yavat Paryantam Tishtati. Till the Bhed Drishti, till the difference of in the vision in Jeev at Ishwar is present, Yavat Paryantam Tishtati, till it is present, Tavat Paryantam, till then, Janma Maranadi Rupa Sansaro Na Nivartate. Till then, this coming and going, birth and death of the sansar will not be ending. It will continue till we are attached to the upadhi, until we consider ourselves different from that Ishwar, or we consider ourselves different from that Brahma. Till then, this sansar bhed will continue. What is sansar? Janma marnadi rupa sansar. Sansar is nothing but the death and the birth. Continuously, we feel that we are being born and we are dying. Tasmat Karanat Na Jiva Ishwarayo Bhed Buddhi Svikarya. And that is why it is being said that we should not accept this duality between Jiva and Ishwar. It should not be accepted. Okay. Tasmat Karanat Na Svikarya. Jiva Ishwara Bhed Buddhi Na Svikarya. One should not accept this Jiva Ishwar Buddhi. How will we not accept? Only when we know what is the essence, what is the real essence of Jeev, what is the real essence of Ishwar. If we come to know that, only then we won't accept the difference between the Jeev and Ishwar. Okay, so this was the literal word to word meaning. We will come to the explanation portion now. You can remove this. So yesterday, what we saw that whatever is in Vyashti has to be in Samashti also. If we have something, if we have got a stool sharir, if we have got a gross body, this Brahmanda also should have a gross body. If we are having a subtle body, this Brahmanda should also have a subtle body. If we are having a causal body, the Brahmanda should also have a causal body. If we are having some power, all the energy centers are in the body, similarly, there should be energy centers in the Brahmanda also. If we are having somebody to hold on those powers because our body is inert, otherwise it will get scattered away. So that is called Jiva. There should be a holder, there should be Abhimani of that Brahmanda also, and we call it Ishwar. We saw till here. Till this pind is one with that Brahmanda, till it is taking its powers from the Brahmanda, it will get nourished by the Brahmanda. Otherwise, once it is separated from the Brahmanda, then it won't have its existence at all. It will perish. Okay, so that is why it is said here that the if anything, any little thing happens to the body, the whole body tries to comfort it. Similarly, if anything happens to the Veshti, we are not alone. The whole Samashti, if we are having the right intentions, if we have purity of mind, if we have got dharma in ourselves, if we have got punya in ourselves, the whole Brahmand at that time, that Samashti will come and protect us, no matter what. It will come and protect us for a higher cause. So, intelligent way to live in this world is not to have a separate identity of ourselves. So then when we are having jealousy, what is it? We are having jealousy because we feel that we are separate from that person. And when we feel that we are separate, then we want to maintain our identity. We want to separate our identity. We want more importance. We want more praise, whatever. That is not right. The more you want to be, less importance the world will give you. The more you want something from this world, the less you will get from this world. The more you leave everything, more you will start getting. Like if you leave sweets, the whole Srishti will try to feed you sweet only. From everywhere, wherever you go, to any house you visit, any place you go, everybody will give you sweets only because you have left it. So when these desires are left, when I don't want anything from this world, I'll get those things. This is the point. So Akhandanand ji used to say, कहीं पे भी रहो, उपयोगी, उद्योगी और सहयोगी बन के रहो. जहाँ कहीं पे भी रहो, उपयोगी, उद्योगी और सहयोगी बन के रहो. So we should not try to separate ourselves. If we separate ourselves, then we will get cut automatically from the whole Brahmanda. So I am in the ashram. So when I am in the ashram, I am for the whole ashram. So continuously, if I am working for the ashram, the whole ashram, the people around, everybody will continuously give glory comes by giving only. If I give, the glory also will be given to. Okay, so macrocosm only feeds the microcosm. It is not that microcosm is feeding or nourishing on its own. It can never be because it does not have power. So giving back, that is that yagya bhavna, that is in the chapter 3 of our Gita, where Bhagwan says that we should all, the whole Srishti is in a yagya bhavna. Everybody is giving here. Similarly, when we start giving also, we have that yagya bhavna in us. The Srishti will also start giving us. From where you won't be able to understand from where the help is coming, who is helping. That samashti only puts that thought in somebody's mind and that sankalpa fructifies because that samashti has got so many hands. Sahasra Shirsha Purusha, Sahasrakshasa Supat. At present, when I am in a Vyashti, I'm identified to a particular body, I'm identified to 3-4 people around in my family. I will get from those people only. But when I get identified to a bigger family, to the samashti, then there are innumerable hands, innumerable feet, innumerable mouth, innumerable words, innumerable ears. So from all the directions, I'll start getting. From all the people, I'll start getting. At all places, I'll start getting. So that is the principle here that works. So as long as I have Seva Bhavna, then that Brahmand is happy. The pind is being nourished by that Brahmand, because that Brahmand is happy on that pind. That is why we should continuously have this seva bhavana. We should have this thought of giving back, this yagya bhavana. Till we have this, then the Veshti Sankalp is fructified, is nourished by that Samashti Sankalp. Okay, so this is to tell how this body and that are one. Always remember that oneness is not the oneness of Upadhi. That oneness is being nourished by that Samashti. If that pind is cut, then that Samashti won't nourish this pind at all. So oneness is in the drishti. Oneness is in our thoughts. Oneness is in our notions that we are not separate. So everything I'm using, I have this gross body, I have this subtle body, I have the causal body, my sanskars, my notion, my knowledge, all the things that I have got, I'm using it for the higher. So weakness is what? I am drawing the powers of the samashti for myself, for an individual. That is the weakness. And whenever one person does this, he lives for his own selfish attitudes, that time he will feel lonely. Because the samashti power, from some or the other place, he will start getting cut. And when he starts getting cut, he will feel as if I'm not getting nourished, I'm not getting energy, I'm not having power, I'm not getting that happiness, that fulfillment is not there within. This is because that weakness of extracting selfishness, extracting my joys from the samashti is there, because I am attached to only my ahankar, I'm attached to my small body, my desires. Till this happens, we won't get the strength from that bigger thing. So weakness is withdrawal of samashti sankalp from the veshti sankalp. This is called weakness. If I'm feeling weak today, that means that samashti has withdrawn its powers from me. That is the weakness. If somebody is sad, that means that samashti behind it is not there now at all. It is not giving its powers. That is why he is feeling very weak. The difference between an ordinary person and an extraordinary person is this only. An extraordinary person is who is getting the powers, he is getting nourished from the Brahman. This is the Aikyam. Actually, we are one, we are getting nourished. But due to our notions, due to our selfishness, we cut ourselves, we try to extract those things for us, for oneself, for an individual. So our glory is what? Our glory should be, because of me, how many people are happy? Because of me, how many people are contented? Because of me, how many smiles are there on faces? Right now, I feel I should smile. Right now, I feel I should get happy. I should get all the happinesses. But this is not with the extraordinary thinking. The extraordinary person will always feel that how many other people are benefiting from my thoughts, my notions, my knowledge, my existence. That is it. And when this thought comes, automatically we are one, we become one. We start taking the powers of the samashti, and that samashti uses us. Like there's a mobile. There's a mobile, and there are many electronic waves there around us. But through that mobile, we can connect to those like magnetic rays, and then we can know whatever I mean the information is. Similarly, here that samashti will use us, like we use the mobile. That's an instrument. We also become an instrument for that higher, for the benefit of other people, because we here do not know. Our capacity is very limited. We don't know where our power is to be utilized, where these people need me, in what area they need me. That samashti is knowing everything. That samashti will start using us. That samashti will give us powers if it is not there right now with me. It will use me, and it will take me to that place. It will take me to the people. It will change the people's mind around, and something will magnificent, something magical will happen around, and I will feel, what is this happening? It didn't happen earlier. Only because I have left my identification with small, I have identified to the higher. That is why the samashti has started working through me. This is a principle, simple principle, but we don't know these principles. And that is why we lag in many areas. That is why we get depressed sometimes. We get very sad sometimes, only because somewhere or the other we are cutting ourselves from the Samashti. So we should always remember that the glory of our existence is not becoming happy for myself. The glory of our existence will be when how many people are being happy from my existence. They are happy that I am there. They'll be sad when I'm not there. My absence will be more felt than my presence. Okay, so this is the case. So this is Jeev. Now we come to Jeev and Ishwar. This was Pinda Brahmanda Rekha. So who is this Jeev? Who is this Jeev? We all know that this Jeev is that reflection of that Brahma only. There has to be some medium. Reflected medium should be there, what we call RM, the reflected medium. So that reflected in that reflected medium, that Brahma only, that power, that original consciousness, that consciousness starts reflecting. And when that reflection is there, there is one there is one Jeev Bhav that comes up that says that I am the possessor of this body, I am the possessor of this subtle body, I am the possessor of this causal body. So that possessor who is a reflection only, who calls itself a Jeev because is identified. Now that Brahma has become a Jeev. Same Atma has become a Jeev. Why? Because he's identified to one small body. Okay. Now he is happy. What is it? He's happy to define himself. In that Brahma, in that Atma, there was no definition because there was no shape, there was no body, there was no thought. But here, this Jeev is who likes to define himself, who likes to talk about himself. Talk about means what? He will naturally talk about his qualities, the good. So now he is not Nirgun, he has become Sagun. And the more the good he has, he feels more happier. He does not know that the more the good, the lesser pervasive he becomes, the smaller entity he becomes. And continuously, the Jeev, we all are trying to put on ourselves the jackets of gunas, of various characteristics. Unknowingly, we don't know that, that these gunas are actually making us limited. These gunas are actually making us small. Actually, our nature that was of Satchitanand, our nature was to be happy all the time. That nature has been lost when we have become a reflection. Jeev is what? A reflection. Because that Atma only when it started reflecting on that subtle body, that's the reflection, and reflection is always false. Bimb and Pratibimb. So Bimb is reality, Pratibimb is false, the reflection is false. So the reflected medium is also false, reflection is also false, everything is false. But we have created this whole scenario of this whole world, and we feel that this is all true, this is all right, and this will give me enjoyment, and it is for my enjoyment, for my bhog, enjoyment and sorrow both. So this is for my sansar, this is my sansar, these are my people. All these things, identifications, make a jeev small, make a jeev limited, make a jeev go through birth and death continuously. Continuously. It's not that after one birth it will get over. Continuously till it gets the knowledge of this oneness, it will keep on having new births, bodies, and it will leave those bodies. This is the process going on. So this body is a false thing, and anything depending on that false thing is also false. So all the elements, we have seen how the elements have come up. Everything has come out of somewhere. We also saw, if you remember, please try to revise everything. We saw that how this world cannot be created when we were doing the when we were looking at Tvam Pad Shodhanam. At that time, we saw that this world cannot be created. So if this world is created, it's an illusion. Because if we say the world is created, who created it? Where did he create? So this creation actually is something magical, and that is why where we introduce Maya. Through the power of Maya, that Ishwar has created everything. Why has he created? To give the fruits of action to various jeev. When the fruits of action mature, then this Srishti is formed. Only for the formation of that sansar, formation of the srishti, for the jeev, for the different jivas, this srishti has been made by Maya. So this, everything is a reflection. This body is a reflection, and reflection cannot be true. Reflected medium, this body is also false. Five elements are not there. Why? Because base is Maya. Maya, through Maya only everything has come. So because everything is false only, it is this body is also false. The very center of our living has been changed because of this notion, because of this avidya. Because we don't know. And then we get very, very tied up, we get bonded in this. So the Devtas and Virat, they are constantly gracing this jeev, the devtas, because this body we saw yesterday only, this the body, the devtas are there continuously in this body. Okay, so when we are in sutak, or when this body is not pure, at that time why is it said that we should not do some rituals, or we should not do some good work, pious works, holy work, dharma and all? We can do chanting and all, but all these things are not to be done, only because the devtas are not there in the body. And because the devtas are not there in the body, that is why my mind, my buddhi, intellect won't be working to its full capacity. It won't work. I won't be able to understand properly. I won't be able to do that work properly. The devtas are not happy. During Surya Grahan also, while it has been given in our sanskar, has been given in our through our culture that we should not go out at that time during Surya Grahan and Chandra Grahan, and we should not use knives, and we should not do too much of work at that time. This is the reason. These people don't understand that the devta behind are everything. The big devta that is called the Surya, that is a problem right now. That is a problem, and that is in our body also. It is working. Surya is a devta of eyes also. And if we make him work at that, if somebody is in a problematic condition, if he is not in a very good position, his energy is down, he's very tired, and you make him work at that time, what will you get? He will be annoyed naturally. He won't be very happy with you showering flowers on you. So it's the same there also. That person, that devta is already in a soup, and we are making him work. So that devta won't grace us. And that is why it is said that when we chant at that time, when we take Lord's name at that time, when we do our japa at that time, that devta gets the power. And when we are energizing, when we are giving that devta something at a time when he's in a need, naturally he'll be very happy, and we'll get fruit many times more than what we are giving, what we are taking. So 10 times more fruit comes at that time if during the Grahan we are doing our japa. All is logical. We don't know the logic, that's a different thing. Somebody is in need and you're giving something, and somebody is not in need. Suppose I don't have money, I am very hungry, and you give me food, you give me money also, you give me water also, you give me clothing also. So I'll remember afterwards when I'm in a good position that yes, she had given me, and I'll be forever for you. Whatever you ask, even without asking, also I'll be giving you. But if I'm in need and then you insult me in front of everybody, that see that this person does not have anything, you make me work also. You work, then only I'll give. I'm already tired. What will be my feelings at that time for you when I am in a proper condition? Because everything changes, the situation changes. It is not that any situation is forever. It will change, and then I will have a sour mind for you. I won't have that. I'll have bitterness for you. It is very natural. I won't be very open for you. I won't be giving very magnanimously to you. Similarly with the devtas also. If the devta is happy at that time, he will give me continuously, because he was being given by me when he was in a dire situation. So these devtas, the Virat is continuously, constantly gracing this Jeev through the body, through the circumstances, through the people, through my sense organs of action, sense organs of perception, everything. It is continuously in touch. This Jeev is in touch with the Ishwar. So when we say that I'm feeling alone, I'm feeling lonely, see how baseless these things are. Because the Jeev cannot even for a second be without that Ishwar's grace or without that Brahman's grace. Vrishti cannot stay. So that is why I'm feeling alone or lost, or these are all delusions, illusions. These are moha. Like this finger will say, I am feeling lonely, I'm cut from the hand. It's not possible. Okay. So very big infinite power, cosmos is attached to us. We should know this, that we are not alone. This is the meaning of Pinda Brahmanda Rekyam Sambhuta. We cannot be alone at any time. So what good we do is a reflection of that macrocosm only through us. It is not that I have done something good. I cannot do anything. If if some good is being done through me, that is the power of that macrocosm only, that Brahmand only is working through me. Okay. So when I am feeling the thought of ahankar is there in me, I feel I'm abhimani of some work. At that time, when I think about this Virat, this should be our sadhana, that no, I don't have any power. Everything is being made, everything is being done through me by a bigger force called Almighty or the Virat. So anything we see, we touch, we talk, it is only the Virat is doing, not me. This is a source of sadhana, of karma. Any karma, behind any karma, this should be the continuous thought. Hmm. So this is Brahmapinda, Pindayo Brahmanda, Pinda Brahmandayor Ekyam. So ego means what? Ego means we are not able to see the bigness of that power that is making me work. I'm not able to see that bigness. Even if he holds, even that person holds it, he will drop it after some time. He's so much attached to Veshti, he's so much attached to himself, he's so much attached to his thoughts that he cannot think of some higher cause making him an instrument and making him work. So inability is cause of not contemplating about that Virat. Inability is the cause of not contemplating on that Virat. So imagine self-importance will go away if we start contemplating on that Virat. So instead of seeing the inert world, instead of seeing this world as a problematic source, we should always try to find out the abhimani behind that. Who's the holder behind this world? Who is giving me any situation? Then my mind will become quiet. Who is giving me this situation? This situation must have come from a source, must have come from the desire of someone higher who is protecting me, who wants me to learn something. And until and unless when we go through a situation, we become very, very mature. And then later on we feel at that time it must be very grueling. It must be very crucial for us, critical situation for us. But later on, when we pass out from that situation, when we are over that situation, we feel that we have grown so much during that situation. And good that that situation came. Now I'm ready to face all the challenges. Now death does not mean anything to me. Attachment does not mean anything to me. Now praise does not mean anything to me. Only because of that situation. That situation gave me such a drishti. It opened my eyes. It clarified my vision. It broadened my vision. Now I am ready to accept everything. Why? Because some greater power. I'm not looking at the situation. I'm not looking at the people around me who gave me those challenges. I take the higher power who's working through them to make that situation work in front of me. I look at that Ishwar, that Brahmand Abhimani, that Ishwar is only with me. He won't leave me. He cannot leave me at all. This is Samarpan Vritti. The Samarpan Vritti, when it comes, it softens my heart. That bitterness does not come. That softness is required for me for higher studies. The softness is required for Bhakti Marg. The softness is required. So whose body is the whole Brahmand. I surrender to that higher power. That is called the Ishwar. Like Bhagwan shows Arjun that Virat, and he finds, see, 2 or 3 times. Yashoda Ma also saw Virat Kanaya as Bal Gopal. He made her see twice, I think, Yashoda Maya, and also Arjun also saw. Both of them saw themselves also in the Virat. When they were seeing the whole Brahmand, like Yashoda Maya, when she saw the whole galaxies, the planets, all the various kinds of suns, not one sun, there is so many suns, bigger suns than our sun. And then she saw the Prithvi, our earth. In the earth, she saw India. In India, she saw UP, that she saw Gokul. In Gokul, she saw that on the ghat of Yamuna ji, she is sitting, and this Kanaya is also sitting there, and he has opened his mouth, and Yashoda is also sitting, and that Yashoda is only looking at that small Balkrishna. In the mouth. So in the Virat Darshan, whenever we are seeing, I am also part of that Virat. So if that Samashti Hiranyagarbha is there, that Hiranyagarbha is going through me also. I am also part of it. You don't seclude yourself. We try to seclude ourselves, we try to separate ourselves. That's the problem. So that Hiranyagarbha, that Virat is going through me only. I am also part of that. Without me, that is not complete. I'm also, so we should be able to develop this vision, capacity to develop this vision, this aseem, the unlimited vision. This is called bhakti. This is called gyan. Okay, so identification with one gross body is called jeev. Identification with one gross body is called jeev. So what happens? What happens? Two things happen. What happens inside? The reflection is in the buddhi, and outside there is a reflection of the sthula sharirabhimani, external. Two things: outside body and inside mind. The reflection gets divided into inside and outside. So outside body, he calls it as mind, and inside also, in the buddhi also, there is this Brahma Pratibimbam. So directly that Brahma cannot reflect in gross body. This gross body is inert. It cannot reflect in that. It has to have the subtle body. So that reflection is where? In that buddhi. Tell me the components of subtle body. 17 components of subtle body. I've unmuted you.
मैं बोलूं?
हाँ.
अपंचीकृत महाभूत.
No. I want you're talking about material cause. I'm talking about the components of subtle body. How many components are there in subtle body? So subtle body is made up of
17 elements.
Yes.
5 organs of perception.
5 organs of perception.
5 organs of action.
5 organs of action. 10.
5 pranas.
5 pranas. 15.
And man and buddhi.
Very good. Man and buddhi. So buddhi is a part of what? Buddhi is a part of subtle body. So that is called the reflected medium. So the reflection is there in that subtle body. So inside that reflection only is taking place in the buddhi, and outside this reflection is taking place here. And he identifies with the subtle body through the gross body, through the subtle body. He's identified because there's no reflection directly in the gross body. Through the buddhi only, through the subtle body only, he has this notion that this is my body. This is my body. I am Ananya Chaitanya. So, like that, this reflection is taking place and he becomes a Jiv. So, now that Satchitananda, that Atma, is now only limited to this body, only to that reflection only. So, how these thoughts work? The thought means duality. Thought means what? The thought means that I have become something. Aham idam asmi. And this idam continuously is changing. Aham asmi, if it was only aham asmi, it is fine. Sat chetanand, aham asmi. But in between, this thought will only project aham kim asmi. So aham sukhi asmi, aham dukhi asmi, aham sri, aham purusha asmi, aham gauravarnaha, aham krishna varnaha asmi. This idam is continuously changing. Okay, so this is called what? This is the Jeev Bhav. This is called Pratibimba. We have got two vads, the processes to understand. One is Avachhet Vad and the other is Pratibimba. So here it is, we are looking into the Pratibimba. What is Pratibimba? This theory of reflection, theory of reflected media. So there is one bimba and other is Pratibimba. There is one object and there is one reflection. This is the sun is there. The sun is getting reflected in many water bodies. There's one mug also. There's one glass also. There's one river also. There's one pond also. There's one muddy water also. There's one clear water also. Everywhere that the reflection will be different as per the reflected medium. If the water is very clear, the clarity will be seen in the water. I mean, the clarity of the object will be seen in the water. If the water is shaky, if there are waves, the object will be broken as if. But actually, the object is not breaking. The pratibimba might be seen as broken, but actually it is not breaking the sun. We can see the sun colored, but the sun is not colored actually. Like that. So similarly here also, the reflection, whatever is there in the reflected medium, in the subtle body, depends on the quality of that subtle body. If that subtle body is very bright, through punya, through upasana, through good actions, if he has made a bright subtle body, the bright plus not shaky, very stable, firm, then the reflection will be very bright. It will be bright. You will be understanding everything properly. Things will click. You will have got intuitive powers. You will know many things beforehand. He does not have to experience everything. He can learn from others' experiences. This is called maturity. This is called brightness. So it depends. This is the theory of reflected consciousness. And the other one is the theory of conditioned consciousness. Conditioned consciousness is what? Something is appearing as different through the conditioning. Like the space is there, the whole space. Now in the pot also there is space. In the pot also there is space. So when there is space in the pot, I call it as pot space. I call this as hall space where I'm sitting right now, and this is called satsang hall. So this is hall space. But actually, I am talking about that total space only. That total space is appearing as pot space, hall space, glass space, needle space. There's a needle eye also. In that also there is space. So as per the conditioning, now that total space is appearing to me. The total space cannot be cut. You cannot cut that space at all. But due to my attention on some conditioning, due to my attention on the four walls of this satsang hall, I feel that that space has been cut into this satsang hall space. Due to my attention on the pot wall, small pot, mud pot is there. My attention on the pot wall, I feel that the whole space has been converted or has been cut into small pot space. Actually, you cannot cut it. That space cannot be cut. If I tell you, now my question is, if I tell you that in the veranda, in the outer space, there is one pot kept. So please bring the space there inside the hall. Bring that pot space inside the hall. What will you do? Again, my question, please listen carefully. There is a pot kept outside in the veranda. There is a pot kept outside there, and I want that pot space to be brought inside.
Bring
What
the
are you
pot.
going to do? Bring the
Bring-
pot inside.
Yes.
Everybody, bring the pot inside. I want to bring that pot space inside the hall space. What am I going to do? Everybody answer. If I want to make the total space and the pot space one, what will I do?
Break the pot.
Yeah, that is the answer actually people give. But it is not this answer. Because I told you that that space cannot be cut. Because that space cannot be cut, that is why no need to bring that pot space here, pot here for bringing that pot space, because we haven't cut it. That pot space inside there is here also. Because my attention is on the pot wall, that's why I feel that that pot has to be brought in here to bring that pot space here. Actually, that space is never cut. If I want to merge the pot space with the total space, Sonia said break the pot. Actually, and because our attention is on the pot space, I am feeling right now that they have been cut. Actually, they are not cut at all. I had to just take away my attention, not break the pot. How many pots are going to break like that? This is called avachedvad. My attention right now is where on this pot space, pot wall. This body, this conditioning is the pot wall. This Atma and that Brahma are not different, are not, never cut, they are same. My attention should go there. It is not that I have to break that pot to make them one. It is not that I have to destroy this body to make that Atma and Brahma one. I hope you're understanding. Only because, yeah, if we break the pot, broken particle will use other space. Yeah, but still, that won't be enclosed. That is, our attention won't be go there. We won't go there probably. But still, yes, you're right. That will take another space. But yes, so our attention should go there. If our attention goes there, then they are never separated. The total space never separated from the pot space. Okay, so this is how our attention should go there. Our attention should be taken away from the conditioning. This is called avachedvad, the theory of conditioned consciousness. Okay, these were the two things. If you don't understand, you ask me again, I'll try to make it more clear. So here it is saying, Sthula Sharirabhimani Jivanamakam Brahma Pratibimbam Bhavati. He becomes Brahma Pratibimbam. He becomes the reflection as it. Bhavati. He's not there. He hasn't become actually, but he feels that he's become. Sthula Sharirani Jivnakam Brahma Pratibimbam Bhavati. Sa eva jiva. That is only the Jeev. Sa eva jiva. That which was Brahma is now a Jeev, is now a limited Jeev. Why? Because of this identification with one small entity. Because the total space is now, change your angle, vision. That total space is now considering itself as pot space. Why? Because of the pot walls. That total space is considering itself as a hall space. Why? Because of the walls. Do we need to break the walls to make it one? No, they are one only. Our attention is not going to the total space. This is that thing. So once it was that which was not identified to anything, that which was Satchit Anand. Now it has, what has it become? Prakritya swasmat ishwaram bhinnam bhavati. Prakritya means what? By nature. Prakritya means what? Ahetukya. By nature. Ahetukya. By nature, swasmat ishwaram bhinnatve janati. It knows itself as different from that Ishwar. What a pathetic situation. All the sorrow, all the sadness is only due to this consideration only as a jeev. He considers because his attention is on the pot wall. This is the pot. So the identification, his vision is on the pot wall now and not beyond that. Till then, this will continue. So it experiences that it is different from that God. When I'm experiencing I'm different than Ishwar, then what happens? I'm insecure. I have desires. I want protection. So this body is there. I want to protect this body. Till I am different, that Ishwar will also be there. So things which are identified to are subject to modification also. Wherever we are identified, they're continuously changing also. So this jeev will never be at rest. It won't listen to Tattvamasi. It won't act because he wants his separate identity. He wants the Ishwar to remain separate because he needs a protector. He needs a nourisher. Till he remains a jeev, there will be Ishwar. Till he remains a karta bhokta, there will be a fruit. There will be a giver of fruit of action. Till there is a giver, I am a giver. There will be a taker as Ishwar. Till he prays, there will be somebody who's fulfilling my prayers. This is the difference. So continuously, first step is identification is wrong, and then he starts. That is why when Hanumanji was asked by Ramji in Adhyatma Ramayana, it comes that he asked Hanumanji, "Who are you?" Hanumanji said, he gave a beautiful definition of himself. He said, Jnani is Bhagwan only himself. So he says, Deha Buddhya tu dasoham. If you are looking at me, if I am looking at myself from this deha, from this body, I am your das, dasoham. Jiva Buddhya tu anshakaha. If I look at myself as a jeev, then I am your ansha, jeev Brahmand, jeev Ishvara Ekyam. Atma Buddhya tu tvam ahamiti. From the angle, from the vision of Atma Buddhi, I am you only. Iti me nishchitamati. This is my strong conviction. And if I look at myself from this deha, then I am your das. Bhakti marg should be taken to. If I look at myself from jeev point of view, I am your ansha. I am becoming a karta, you are giving the fruit of action. Karmadhyaksha, dharmadhyaksha, phaladhyaksha, you are that. If I am Atma, Atma Buddhya tu aham iti. I am you only, yourself only. Iti me nishchitamati. So from which angle am I looking at myself? My vision should be clear. My notions, my convictions about this is wrong, and that is a first fall that I'm becoming a jeev, and then my continuous fall starts. So we don't appreciate. That is where bhakti is not advanced. We don't appreciate, so our gyan does not advance. We cannot give up the issues. We cannot drop the issues. So Ishwar is a big requirement. A very, very big requirement. As long as we are identified to our gross body, Ishwar is a very, very big requirement. All the Vedantis, all the big, big Vedantis, they are big devotees of Lord, deep devotees of Lord. Okay, because to transcend this body, transcend this identification with the body, we should have somebody who will protect me, who will give me gyan, who will give me knowledge, who will take, like Bhagavan says, yoga kshemam vahamya. We need somebody. We cannot go on our ourselves. So this Jeev Ishwarayo Bhedam, Jeev Ishwara Bheda Drishti, Yavat Paryam Tishtati, Tavat Paryantam, Janma Marnadi Rupa Sansaro Na Nivardate. So till this Jeev and Ishwar Bheda Drishti is there, till then this sansar won't finish, it won't destroy, it will continuously keep on happening. So if we are walking on Lord's path, some situation comes, some problems come, on when we are walking on the higher path, situations will be challenging sometimes. So like, and at that time, who will help? The Almighty, the power, the higher power that helps us. If we don't have faith, we cannot walk on this path. Like when Hanumanji was going to bring Sanjeevani Booty, at that time Kalnemi came. Kalnemi was telling him Ramji's Katha, and he started listening. Who at that time, if Bhagwan hadn't prompted that crocodile, that female, that she crocodile, if it wouldn't have said that this is a Rakshas, this is a demon, you go and kill him, he would have sat there and waited till, he wouldn't have waited till morning. He would have stayed there only. He wanted to reach before sunrise. So who helped? And many a times you will see that Gurudev also was thrown out of the jail. Who helped him that time? I mean, that higher power only helped. How did Tulsidas ji become Tulsidas? He didn't have anything to eat. How did Tulsidas ji leave his wife and go away? He had that faith in the higher. He had that faith in the Lord. How did these people, when they reached the all the Vanar Sena, when they reached the ocean below, at that time they didn't have anything. How? From where did Sampati come? Where did Sampati appear? It's all due to faith. If we are on the path of bhakti, we need a lot of faith in Lord. And when we have that faith is also strengthened by that Almighty only. You'll continuously walk and you'll feel that my faith is being strengthened, my thoughts are being nourished. I don't need anything. I don't need any people because that higher power is continuously with me. Okay, so these things are very, very important. So that is why in chapter 12 it says who are identified to the body only. Remember this shlok, who are identified with this body only and who do not have a lot of dispassion. For them, this path of knowledge is very, very tough. Very, very tough for them. So first and foremost, we should try to develop our sense of surrender, our bhakti. There should be a lot of samarpan for some higher altar so that we get faith that somebody, some higher power is holding, because we are identified to this body right now. We need some higher power. Okay, and after this, then we will see what is an upadhi. Mayopadhi san Ishvara Ityuchyate. This upadhi portion that we'll see next week. Today time is over. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha.